Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Babe Ruth Field here at Breed for Northeastern Conference Girls Softball. Glasgow entertaining Winthrop. Winthrop trying to get on the winning side. They were defeated by Beverly. Glasgow had a big win, so they're 1-0. And they've got a fairly veteran team. They got a few back from the very good team they had last year. Most importantly, on the mound, Tori Adams. And they're back up, sitting in the wings for the future is Brooke Warren, the daughter of Chris Warren, the former coach who's here in attendance. In for strike, Bella Parati, the shortstop, leads it off for Winthrop. And we're underway with our first softball game here on channel 1536, Comcast Verizon. Chop, foul. Just sort of a little swinging bunt that dribbled down the third base line that went foul. Coach Richards, the veteran on the bench for Lynn Classical. Hit to third. Maddie Dana, daughter of the baseball coach at St. Mary's, Derek, makes the play over to Amanda Wilkins. So one up, one down. Izzy Mahoney, the center fielder, throws left, bats left. Usually don't see that very often. Missing down the way. Behind the plate is Jimmy Kafalis, former very good basketball coach at St. Mary's. Fishing wide again, 2-0. Not a very good day for softball, baseball, or anything else outside. You wouldn't know it. Big blue skies. Sun shining. But it is cold. The wind makes it extremely cold. Missing wide for a ball. You might be able to hear the wind blowing through my microphone. Chopped to third. She beat it. Just a little slow ground ball to third. She gets an extra. She's very quick, but gets an extra step being left-handed. So Mahoney gets an infield hit. Winthrop has the first base runner. And Stephanie Stranzy, the pitcher, will be the hitter. There's a veteran battery with Adams on the mound and Meg Levitt behind the plate. In for a strike. Waves at that pitch. It was down and in. Quick throw to first. Mahoney gets back. Down to Wilkins at first. Wilkins last year was the right fielder. She's moved into first base. Swing and a miss. First strikeout of the ball game for Tori Adams. 2 away. Jess Martin, the catcher, will be the hitter. I'm waiting to heckle Amanda Wilkins at first base. She played last year, as I mentioned, out in right field, using a first baseman's glove. And I would tell her, you can't do that. It's not legal. If you make a play, they can void the play. And So now she can legally wear her first baseman's glove. She's playing first base. So I can't heckle her anymore. In for a strike. The 2-1 pitch up and coming. Got a little bit of a piece. Looked like a changeup. Had Martin out in front, and she tipped it into Levitt's glove. And we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the dirt, the runner was going, got a good pitch to run on. I think she had second base stolen anyway. Waves at the pitch for strike 3. They'll throw her out at first base. So Adams gives up the infield hit, but gets back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the inning. Winthrop leaves the runner in scoring position. And we'll move into the bottom half of the first inning. It'll be Becca Walker, the shortstop, leading off. Jonna called to the center field to bat second. Batting third and playing second base, Kayla Morrow. The catcher, Meg Levitt, hits in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth and playing right field, Kiara Edmonds. The pitcher, Tori Adams, will bat sixth. Batting seventh and playing third base, Maddie Dana. Sierra Collins will play left field and bat eighth. And bring up the tail end of the batting order is the first baseman, batting ninth, Amanda Wilkins. So we're hoping this week will be the last week of this wind and cold, and we'll get back to, I guess we're skipping right over spring. We're going to go right from winter to summer. There was better weather to play in November and December than there is here in April. It's been bitterly cold, and the wind has been the biggest factor. The wind just hasn't stopped. Every day the wind just gets stronger and stronger and blowing things away. We had a baseball game last week where second baseman called for a pop-up near the second base bag, and the first baseman wound up catching it in foul territory. The wind blew it away. And that happened more than once. I think I said Jimmy Cafales is behind the plate. Jimmy's on the base pass. So Becca Walker, who's already had a good career at Glasgow. I think she finally has grown up. I think she's finally a sophomore. Does an outstanding job defensively and offensively. She'll look to get things started. High and tight for a ball from Stephanie Strange on the mound for the Lady Vikings. In for a strike. 1-1 the count. Missing inside. Coach Guffey in charge of Winthrop. He's used to some of these classical players and obviously his own players. He helps run a camp down here at Breed during the summer with Chris Warren. We mentioned Chris, the former very successful coach at Link Classical. Hits it high in the air. Center fielder drifting back and makes the play. And that's going against the wind. The wind's blowing towards home plate. She hit that a long way And Izzy Mahoney tracked it down. One up, one down. John Acalda, the center fielder, is the hitter. Down and away for a ball. Looks like she tried to take something off. It stayed inside. It's 2-0. Up and away for a ball. Counts as 2-1. I did see the umpire hand. I thought his hand gesture was that the ball was away. In for a strike. I think the count is 3-1 now. The board says now it says 3-1. I think they got confused that umpire made a motion with his right hand that the pitch was away, and I think that confused people thinking he was calling it a strike. And that's high. She took it. That's a tough pitch to take with 3-2. But Calder took it and draws a walk. So Classical has their first base runner. And Kayla Morrill, the second baseman, will be the hitter. Wide for a ball. In for a strike. 1-1 to the Rams' second baseman. Chop foul behind home plate. Hit deep over the center fielder's head. They're going to send the runner home. Levitt, again against the wind blowing towards home plate. She hit that a ton. Morrill got all of that and drilled it over the center fielder's head for a double. An RBI. Calder able to score all the way from first. And Classical has grabbed a 1-0 lead. Meg Levitt, the catcher, will be the hitter. High for a ball. So that walk hurts. Popped up. Everybody went after it and everybody stopped and the ball hits the dirt. Looked like the pitcher, Strange, might have a play. The catcher backed off to let her get it, and it dropped between all three, including the first baseman, Peterson. So Levitt gets another life. And she makes it pay off. She drills it in the left field for a base hit. The run will score. So she got a second life and took advantage. She gets a base hit, an RBI. And quickly, Classical jumped out to a 2-0 lead. And I was going to say we're having a runner at first base for Levitt, and I can't tell you who it is because she's wearing her sweatshirt. I don't know the number. It's cold enough. I'm going to give everybody credit. I don't think it's Brooke Warren. It's either Maggie McHale, Mary Collins, or Mackenzie Shea. I'll give them all credit at first base. Hit in the air. Left fielder and started back and then stepped right back where she was standing. Hit right to her by Kiara Edmonds for the second out. And Tori Adams, the pitcher, will be the hitter. She throws right and bats left, and now they're going to change up a little bit. They're going to bring everybody in, thinking the Tori's either going to bunt or slap. Infield is pulled way in, including the second baseman. Outfielders are playing extremely close. Swing and a miss. They throw it down to first, getting back. It's one of those three that I mentioned. Again, we can't tell by the number on her back because she's got the number covered. Hit foul and out of play. So walk, a double, and a single. Have put two on the board for the Lady Rams. Down and away for a ball. High for a ball. The runner goes, is thrown into center field. They're a little late getting over and covering. So runner at second, Tori Adams going to help herself with a base hit here. The payoff pitch. Wide for ball four. Adams draws a walk. And I thought we might have a runner for Adams too, but we don't. In for a strike. So 2 on, 2 out, 2 in for the Lady Rams here in the bottom of the first. Down and in for a ball. Down and in. High for a ball. Three one the count. Hit on the ground to short. They get Maddie Dana at first. Nice play by the shortstop Parati. Over to Peterson. So they get the third out, but not before Klasko puts 2 on the board. They get a couple of hits. The walk started it. A double and a single. Morrow with the double, Levitt with the single, knocking in the 2 runs. And Klasko has jumped out on top. 2-0 at the end of 1. Kaylee Peterson, the first baseman, leads off for the Lady Vikings in the second inning. And they find themselves trailing 2-0. Missing twice outside, it's 2-0. Missing wide again. This is not the best weather to be pitching in. It's ice cold. You're on the bench, around the bases, swinging the bat, and then you come out and try to throw the ball. Try to stay sharp. Hard to do. On 4 pitches, Peterson draws a walk. Imakani, the second baseman, will be the hitter. Squares the bunt, takes the pitch for a strike. Gets the bunt down. Nice play by Levitt. Bunt in front of the plate. Levitt very quickly scooped it up and got it down to Wilkins at first base for the out. So Connie will get a sacrifice. It goes 2-3. Peterson will move over to second base. Sophia Vitali, the third baseman, will be the hitter. Waves at that pitch. Winthrop trying to get at least one of the two back, moving the runner over into scoring position. Nice start by Levitt on a pitch down and away. That's a nice job. That holds the runner at second base. Hit in the air, outside first base. Amanda Wilkins runs out of territory. Didn't want to run into the fence there. Made a good effort, reached out, tried to get it. And the count's 1-2 to the Lady Viking third baseman. Hit the second base. Nice play by the second baseman and a nice stretch by Wilkins. Morrow had to go to her right. She threw it high. Looked like it might almost be thrown up and away. And Wilkins did a very nice job stretching and keeping her foot on the base. So a nice play all the way around. Peterson moved over to third on the play. And Nellie Carter, the left fielder, will be the hitter. Nice stop again by Levitt. Keeps that runner at third this time. Started to pull the trigger, held up on a pitch that was low and in the dirt. In for a strike, taking all the way is Carter. When the wind lets up, it's not a bad day, but the wind doesn't let up for very long. And that's ball 4. So the inning started with a walk, and now a 2-out walk. Runners at first and third. Let's see what they do with the base runner. If they send her, let's see what Classical does. Katie Gagnon, the right fielder, will be the hitter. And there's going to be a little confab out on the mound. Top of the second inning, Classical got 2. Calder drew a 1-out walk. Morrow drilled one into deep right field for a double, knocking in a run. And she came around the score and Meg Levitt's base hit. And that's where we are, 2-0 Classical, but Winthrop trying to eat into that 2-0 lead. They got first and third with 2 outs. Gagnon's the number 9 hitter. Down and away. The umpire's got that habit of putting his right arm down, saying that ball's away. It may give the impression that he's got that right hand calling a strike. Up and away for a ball. Winthrop hasn't shown that they're going to run. Hit out in front. Tori Adams helps herself. So Winthrop leaves a couple on, one in scoring position at third. Adams gets the easy ground ball. And Winthrop is down and shut out for the second inning in a row. And we'll move into the bottom half of the second inning. It'll be 8-9-1 for Classical. Sierra Collins, Amanda Wilkins back to the top of the order. Becca Walker facing Stephanie Strange on the mound for Winthrop. We're underway here at Channel 15 Comcast and 36 Verizon with baseball and softball. This is our first softball game. Done a couple of baseball games, and now we'll get into it now. And the only thing we're hoping is the weather becomes a little more easier to take, the cold and the wind. I'm dressing like I'm going to the hockey rink. First time ever there was the first game of the season for Lynn English was a game at 7 o'clock at night. They never schedule 7 o'clock games till like first or middle or end of May. They scheduled at 7 o'clock game. I gained about 50 pounds. I had 2 jackets, 2 sweatshirts, a turtleneck. Just trying to stay warm with gloves. I haven't worn gloves very often for baseball and softball. Sierra Collins, the left fielder, will lead it off. Good pitch for a strike from Strange. Swing and a miss. Chase the high pitch. I don't know if Strange is related to the principal at English High School. Good pitch. He took something off and caught the inside corner. Nice pitch by Strange. Gets her first strikeout. Amanda Wilkins is the hitter. High for a ball. High for a ball. So should be looking at least one here, trying to become a base runner. And that's ball 4. Second walk given up By strangely, the first one hurt because it came around to score the first run. High for a ball. Becca Walker hit it well, but got under it just enough that the center fielder, Mahoney, could track it down. Quick throw down, back easily as Wilkins. Becca Walker is the shortstop. She's 0 for 1 against Strange. High for a ball. She hasn't thrown a strike yet to the last 2 hitters. Wilkins at first, and now Walker is 3-0. That one's in for a strike. And again, Wilkins will be fussy. It's got to be a pitch she can handle at 3-1. Hits it high in the air to left field, over near the line, making the basket catch is Nellie Carter. She had to run a few steps to get over to the foul line and made a little basket catch. So 2-way with the runner at first. Jonna Calder drew a walk and scored the first run. Up and away for a ball. Little high pop, safe at first. It went up about 3 feet in the air and just stopped dead when it hit the ground. Calder's on for the second time, extends the second inning. Wilkins moves over to second. And Kayla Morrow hit that long double. And I guess the outfielders remember that because they deep. The center field is about 5 steps away from the fence. Down and away for a ball. Had base hit. It's a line drive in the box score. It went about 6 feet down the third base line. When it dropped, it just dropped dead. In for a strike. Lines it the other way. Foul. Little inside out swing. Went the other way with it. And it just sliced foul. Nice stop by the catcher, Martin. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. In inning number 2, we got deuces all over the place. Wide, the runners go, and I looked at the board. The board said, I think there's a light out on the board because the board said 2-2, and that was ball 4. Obviously. So the bases are loaded for Meg Levitt, who ripped a base hit by the third baseman in left field for an RBI. She hits it solid and they go to third for the force out. She hit that a ton, but she hit it right at the shortstop. She didn't get lucky. So they get the force at third for the third out. Classical leaves a couple. We're through 2 here at Breed in this Northeastern Conference battle. Classical leading Winthrop 2-0. Top of the order for Winthrop as we start the third inning. Bella Parati grounded out third to first, leading off the ball game. Winthrop had a bit of a rally in the top of the second with 2 walks. They wound up with runners at first and third. Chop towards third base, it goes foul. Coach Guffey makes the play, coaching third base. Waves at that pitch for strike 2. Down and away for a ball. Waves at the pitch again. It bounced. They'll throw her out at first base. One away. Third strikeout for Tori Adams. Izzy Mahoney has the one hit for Winthrop. She pushed one down the third baseline and beat it for a base hit. So she's 1 for 1. She stole second base as well in that first inning. Got stranded there. Nice play by Amanda Wilkins. Had to go across her body to her right. Nailed it. Gets the unassisted play. The pitcher, Stephanie Stranzi, struck out swinging. Back on the first inning. Hits it slowly to third, and she beats it out for a base hit. So they got 2 hits, both of them in slow ground balls to third base. Jess Martin, the catcher, struck out swinging. Missing low for a ball. Hit solidly into left field for a base hit. She got all of that one. So after 2 quick outs, a couple of hits, put runners at first and second. And the first baseman, Kaylee Peterson, who drew a walk and made it around to third base before she got stranded there. Nice stop by Levitt. That bounced, picked it off, keeps the runners at first and second, which is big because a ground ball now they can get a force at any base. That goes by, it's going to be second and third. Not on top of the tying runs moving up. Nice pitch for a strike. Glasgow leading it 2-0 here. Winthrop trying to cut it into again, but they got 2 outs with 2 on. Nice stop again by Levitt. She's been busy behind home plate. Tori Adams wanted that pitch. She didn't get it. She didn't get the corner. Swing and a miss. She gets that one. She starts the inning with a strikeout, ends the inning with a strikeout. Winthrop again leaves a couple of more on base. With the 2 hits. So they had a runner in scoring position in the first. 2 on, first and third in the second. 2 on, first and second here in the third. And Tori Adams pitches her way out of it. That was strikeout number 4 for Tori Adams. And we'll move into the bottom half of the third. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for the Lady Rams. Kara Edmonds, Tori Adams, and Maddie Dana. Facing Stephanie Stranzi, who will be starting her 3rd inning of work. Stay tuned to Channel 15 because coming up in the next few weeks will be our annual All-Star Party where we honor over 100 kids in the city for the winter sports. It was a great year. Unprecedented in football. Never happened before, ever in the city. The 4 football teams combined for 40 wins. All 4 made the playoffs. 2 of them were division champions. 2 of them were an eyelash away from going to the Super Bowl. Three of them actually made the division finals. Basketball was great. We had 11 teams in the city. 8 of them made the tournament. Played extremely well all year. Glasgow girls went undefeated in the conference, won the conference. St. Mary's boys won the Catholic Central League. So great winter season. Hockey. St. Mary's boys had almost got into the Super 8. They had a playing game that they lost, so they would have been in the Super 8. St. Mary's girls had the best year they've had in a while. Made the tournament, played extremely well. During the regular season, only 2 losses with the division number 1 and 2 teams in the state. And the Lynn Jets had a great year. They competed in the league, they went to the tournament, won a game or 2 in the tournament. Lost a very tough game in the semifinals of the division. And they did it the first practice of the year they said, would anybody like to try and be a goalie? We don't have one. And young Mr. Gallant raised his hand and said, I'll try it. And what a year he had. Popped up. And it's going to go out of play off behind first base. He helped get them to a great year. He had a tremendous year. Never having played goalie, he was a defenseman. And that was Roberts, a rookie coach. Antonio Anderson, a rookie coach. Coach Grasser at Classical, a rookie coach. And just recently we have Coach Germano and Coach Mullins, two rookie coaches for Tech and English, respectfully, winning their first baseball games. So we've had an influx of new coaches in the city and having the teams perform very well. Hit hard past third base, into fair territory, making a turn and scooting into second base. It's Kiara Edmonds with a double. Right by the third base bag in the left field, hustled in a second. Tori Adams, the pitcher. Let's see if they have her bunt to the third or just swing away. Winthrop changing up their defense. The ball gets away. The runner will go to third. They don't need the bunt to push her over. They switch up. Everybody squeezes in. The outfield squeezes in. The infield squeezes in. Second baseman is almost even with the pitcher. Tori can help herself here. And she does. She lines it by everybody. They were playing them close, and she burned them. And she's going to walk in with a triple. So they squeezed in, and she ripped it for a base hit and an RBI. Second extra base hit for Classical. Maddie Dana grounded out. Shot to first. She hit it hard, but hit it right at the shortstop. Back in the first inning. Missing inside for a ball. Missing inside for a ball. Winthrop had that defense. They pulled infield in, and second baseman way in. Outfielders way in. And Adam just ripped it into right center field and was able to coast in the third with a stand-up triple. They expected her to either bunt or slap. And she hit it right by them. Hit high and deep. Going back, the right fielder makes the play. She got under it just enough to leave it in the ballpark. That was a mile high in the air. And it gave the right fielder Gagnon a lot of time to go back and get it. She gets an RBI with the sacrifice fly. So Classical has doubled their fun. They pushed the lead now to 4-0. 2 in the first, now 2 here in the third. Sierra Collins was called on strikes her first trip. Down and in for a ball. way up and away for a ball. That one actually, did it hit the helmet or the bat? I thought the umpire said foul ball. Everybody was wondering if she got hurt. It hit the bat. She was ducking. It was way up around her head area. She ducked down. The ball hit the bat. It's funny. You don't see that very often. And now, this early in the season, we've seen it 3 times. I've seen it a couple of times in the baseball games. And that's ball 4. Fourth walk given up by Strange. Amanda Wilkins is up. She has one of the walks. So she hasn't been up officially. She made a nice defensive play at first base. Gets the bunt down. They throw her out. She gets a sacrifice. She's bunting more for a hit with 1 out. Becca Walker has flied to center and flied to left. She can hit the trifecta if she hits the ball to right field. Up and away for a ball. Up and away again. So Classical has a double and a triple in the inning for 2 runs. They've got a walk that's now at second base with 2 outs. In for a strike with Walker taking all the way. And again, she'll be very fussy here. Pops it up. Behind first base, foul. Beyond anybody's reach. And we got a full count, 3-2. Chased that pitch. It was way up and in and swung through it. That was probably ball 4. But Classical gets a couple more. The leadoff double by Edmonds, followed by the triple by Adams, the sacrifice fly by Dana. And all of a sudden that 2-0 lead is ballooned to 4-0. Classical 4. Winthrop nothing at the end of 3. 6, 7, and 8 for Winthrop as we start the 4th inning. Emma Carney sacrificed her 1 trip back in the 2nd inning. So officially she hasn't been up against Tori Adams. Down and away for a ball. It doesn't get any easier for the players out there. The wind is blowing. It's really cold. It's really hard to get loose and get into anything. Pitcher and catcher, at least, getting involved in every play. If you're infielders, outfielders, you're waiting to see if the ball hits you. And it gets cold, you freeze up. Just hard to get involved. Wide for a ball. That one's in for a strike with Connie taking all the way. And that's ball 4. Second time in 4 innings that Winthrop has got the leadoff batter on with a walk. Sophia Vitale grounded out second to first to 1 trip. Third walk given up by Tori Adams. Nice stop again. Pitch low in the dirt. Levitt making the nice play. Up and away for a ball. Down and in for a ball. And that brings another little trip out to the mind. This time it'll be Assistant Garrity coming out to talk. Gary was a very good player. That allows Coach Guffey to have a conversation with Vitale, his hitter. So the wheel's tuning on both sides. I'm kind of surprised the umpires let the conversation go that long, considering it's sub-zero here. Missing again, they throw it down. Back is Connie. And it was ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start the 4th inning. Nellie Carter was the hitter. She drew a walk. She walked 2 in the 2nd. She's walked 2 here in the 4th. Up and away for a ball. Throw down to 2nd this time. Connie getting back. Squares the butt and fouls it off. So Tori Adams, first 2 hitters, kind of lost her rhythm a little bit. Down and away for a ball. Bunts it foul again. Two the count to the Winthrop left fielder. Haskell leading at 4-0, but Winthrop trying to get back in the game. They get 2 on, courtesy of 2 leadoff walks here in the 4th. 2 on, nobody out. Right down the pipe. Took that one. Fifth strikeout for Adams. And Katie Gagnon will be the hitter. She bounced back to the mound. That was the inning. Winthrop had 1st and 3rd, and she ended the inning bouncing it back to Tori Adams. Pitch misses low for a ball. Waves at that pitch. One the count. Missing low for a ball. Missing low again. 3-1 the count. Up and away for ball 4. 3 walks in the inning have loaded the bases. And that allows Winthrop to bring the tying run to home plate. Leadoff hitter Bella Parati has grounded to third and struck out swinging. Hits it to short. They get the force at the plate. Nice job. Good job by Becca Walker to Levitt. So they're still loaded, but now with 2 outs. Izzy Mahoney got an infield hit, and Amanda Wilkins made a nice play on her hit to first base. Speared it, got the unassisted put out. So she's hit the ball well the second time. The first time was just a little dribbler down the third baseline. Popped up. Dana makes the play. So Winthrop has got to be talking to themselves. They left 2 on in the second, 2 on in the third. They leave the bases loaded in the fourth. They've left 8 base runners on base in 4 innings. So Torres breathes a little sigh of relief. She walked 3 in the inning, and she gets out of it. She picked up her 5th strikeout and induces the pop-up and the force at the plate. It gets out of it. We're halfway through the ball game with Classical leading at 4-0. This is reminiscent of the game we just did, English and Medford Malden, baseball. Malden had 14 base runners in the game and didn't score. That's 2 on in every inning. They didn't score a run. And now Winthrop has had 8 base runners in 4 innings, and they haven't scored a run. In the bottom of the 4th, it'll be 2, 3, and 4. Jonna Calder, Kayla Morrow, Meg Levitt. Calder was perfect. She walked and scored the first run. Last time up, she singled. And almost all the Winthrop kids are wearing their jackets out on the field defensively because it is cold. It is bitterly cold. As I mentioned before, almost impossible to really get loose. Missing inside for a ball. Up and away for a ball. As you would expect, the pitcher's having a tough time in this weather. 9 walks between the two teams. And Calder has to count her way 3-0. And on 4 pitches, she draws a walk. So both pitchers have walked 5. Kayla Morrow doubled in a run and scored in the first, walked in the second. And that's 5 in a row out of the strike zone. High and tight for a ball. That's it. Nice stop by the first baseman on a throw in the dirt, trying to get Calder at first base. Missing wide for a ball. We haven't mentioned before, but second baseman, third baseman, pitcher are all wearing masks. That's 8 in a row out of the strike zone. So as Glasgow walked 2 in a row to start the 4th inning, Winthrop walks 2 in a row to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Meg Levitt hit a hard shot by the third baseman for a base hit, knocking in a run in the first. Hit another hard shot, but right at the shortstop, turned in with force out at third. With runs at first and second, ending the second inning. So she's 1 for 2 with an RBI. And she's got a chance for another one here with a runner in scoring position at second base. Up and away. Strange hasn't thrown a strike yet. That's 10 in a row. That one's in. 2-1 to Levitt, the Ram catcher. Hits it high and deep to left center field. It's in for a base hit. 1 run to scoring. Levitt's got another RBI, a big double. She got all of that one. 3rd extra base hit. 4th extra base hit for Glasgow. Calder scores her 2nd run. Morrow winds up at 3rd. Kiara Edmonds will be the hitter as there's a confab in the mound for Winthrop. Edmonds has flied to left. She doubled and scored a run. She's 1 for 2 with a run scored. 3 doubles and a triple for Glasgow in 4 innings. Levitt got all of that one. Hit it high and deep. Mary Collins will run for her. At second base. Jeff Earp is the president of Babe Ruth. I'm going to ask him if he can build a dome over this field so we can have a little bit of warmth when we play here next year. Because it is bitterly, bitterly cold. High for a ball. So Strange finally threw a strike and Levitt deposited deep to left center field for a double and an RBI. So the 2 walks hurt. In for a strike. Adams got out of it walking the first 2 in the 4th. Strange has not. She's still in trouble with second and third and nobody out. Popped straight up in the air. The shortstop started out on the grass, came back to the dirt, and the infielder makes the play. So they keep it in the infield. That keeps the runners at second and third. Dory Adams has walked, and she ripped that triple for an RBI and scored a run. So she's 1 for 1, on base twice, scored a run, knocked in a run. And they don't change up the defense this time. She gets the bunt down. Safe at first base with the base hit. And another RBI. So the last time up, last 2 times up, they brought the infield in. The second baseman was almost even with the pitcher for Tori, thinking she's going to bunt or slap. And she ripped it into right center field. Safe at first, the throw was in the dirt. Dana will reach on the error. So the bases are loaded for Sierra Collins, who was struck out and walked. First error in the ball game. Considering the conditions, that's pretty good. And we're going to get a pinch runner at first. And we're not going to get a pinch runner. We're going to get a pinch hitter. And I wish I could tell you who it is because we can't see her number. I'm going to guess, and it's a total guess, that this is Mackenzie Shea. Swing and a miss. Pretty good soccer player. High for a ball. High again. Throw down a third, nowhere near in time. In for a strike. And it's 2-2. And that one hit her. So Mary Collins walks in from third. She was running for Levitt. Back at third base is Adams on the throw. Bases are still loaded. Wilkins is the 8th hitter in the inning. Hits it in the air, coming on the right fielder. Can't make the play. It bounces in. And the runner just gets to second base. She thought the ball was going to be caught. She couldn't really go anywhere until the ball dropped in. Then she had to hustle to get to second to avoid the force. So Wilkins gets a base hit and an RBI. Bases are still loaded for Becca Walker. They batted around here in the 4th. She's the 9th hitter. High for a ball. In for a strike. Chop to third. They get the force at the plate. So 2-away now. Jonah called the start of this inning with a walk and scored a run. Up for the second time. Lines it foul off to the right side. And it's 2 strikes. We had just about everything. A couple of walks, an error, hit batsman. A couple of hits, an extra base hit. And Glasgow's put a lot of distance between them and Winthrop right now. That one goes to the backstop. Out at the plate. So they send 9 to the plate. 4 of them score. Those 2 walks that started the inning were big, and now Glasgow has opened up an 8-0 lead over Winthrop at the end of 4 innings. 3-4-5 for Winthrop as we start the 5th inning. The pitcher, Stephanie Strange, struck out and got an infield hit. And she takes it low for a ball. So Adams walked the first 2 in the 4th, got out of it. Strange walked the first 2 and didn't get out of it. Gave up 4 runs. Hit the shot. Becca Walker with a nice play. Good strong throw. One up, 1 down in the 5th. Jess Martin, the catcher, struck out swinging and got a base hit. 1 for 2. Hit foul past third base. Fishing down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Down and in again, 2-1. That one's in. The count evens at 2. Martin's got her second hit. And it'll bring up Kaylee Peterson, the first baseman, who was walked and struck out swinging. Nice stop by Levitt on a pitch in the dirt. Low for a ball. Umpire behind the plate keeps flashing that right arm like he's calling a strike. He's pointing outside, pointing down that it's low. That one's in for a strike. So it's 2-1. You go home after playing this game and it takes you an hour or two to warm up. Waved at that pitch that was out of the strike zone. That was down in the dirt. Trying to chip that one to the ninth green. It's 2-2. Strike 3 called. Sixth strikeout for Tori Adams. Emma Connie, the second baseman, hasn't been up officially. She sacrificed and walked. Both times she faced Adams. In for a strike. That's good base running. Martin hustles. She got off the bag. She knows, and she's the catcher. She likes to throw the ball around. She knows that Levitt will fire it down. She got off the bag, drew the throw, but didn't go back, took off, and winds up going to second base. Good heads-up base running by Jess Martin. Waves for strike 3. Third time she's got 2 strikeouts in an inning. So now Winthrop has left 9 runners on base in 5 innings. 7 strikeouts for Adams. And it'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Glasgow. If they could have an inning here, they could get us all a reprieve and get us out of here in this win. They could win it in a mercy rule. Few loyal fans hanging around, wrapped around the fence. Some sitting out in their cars behind third base. Sophia Vitale is going to be the new pitcher. Strangely, the pitcher is going. I don't know if she's going to center field. She's warming up in front of me. I don't know if she's going to play right or center. They only have two outfielders warming up. So I guess she's going to play center field. And it's going to be the center fielder Mahoney, left-handed, playing third base. So Vitale is the new pitcher. The batting order will stay the same. Everybody's still in the game. They just moved a couple of people around, a couple of chess moves by Coach Gruffy. Joanna Calder was perfect. 2 walks and a base hit, and she scored 2 runs. Hit foul outside third base. Nice kick stop by Coach Richard. Chop foul again. High for a ball. I believe Winthrop got shut out against Beverly, and that was a mercy rule game. And they're being shut out here through 5. Good off-speed pitch for a strike. So they get Calder for the first time. Kayla Morrill, another one that's perfect. Doubled in a run and scored, walked and scored. She's 1 for 1 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. She's been on base 3 times. That one bounced in front of home plate and went to the backstop. Wide for a ball. On base again. Morrill gets a base hit. Just had a visit from a nice looking puppy. Walked over and said hi. Meg Levitt singled in a run, hit a solid shot right to the shortstop, wound up in a force out ending the second inning, and then doubled in a run and scored a run. So he's got a single, a double, and 3 trips. Knocked in 2 and scored a run. I was talking to her father before the game. I said, "Good luck, Dad." He said, "Yeah, we hope so." And she's certainly having herself an afternoon. Doing a nice job behind the plate, too. Inside and tight. high in the air to right field. She got under it just enough to keep it in the park, so right fielder Gagnon could track it down. Two-way for Kiara Edmonds. She flagged the left, popped to short, but in between she doubled and scored a run. So she's 1 for 3 with a run scored. In for a strike. I'm looking at Vitale, the pitcher, on the mound. She's not wearing a sweatshirt or any kind of warm shirt. She's got those bare arms. She must be freezing out there. Hit on the ground, foul outside third. To the left-handed third baseman now, Izzy Mahoney. High and tight for a ball. And we got a little bit of reprieve for a while, but now the wind's coming back. On the corner for strike 3. Good pitch. So Glasgow gets a hit. They leave a runner. 2 strikeouts for Vitale in the inning. We played 5 complete. Glasgow holding on to that 8-0 lead over Winthrop. Bottom 3 in the order for Winthrop as we start the 6th inning. Sophia Vitale, who's now the pitcher, has grounded out and walked. She got one of those 3 walks that Adams gave up in the 4th inning, but then got out of it. Getting a strikeout in the pop-up. Hit to first base. One of those 3 to 4. Wilkins scooped it up. Second baseman Morrow hustled over and covered first. So the play goes 3 to 4 for the out. So a quick out in the 6th. Nellie Carter has walked and struck out. She was called out on strikes. Swing and a miss, quickly 0-2. Missed, down and away. One and 2 the count. Strike 3 called. Good pitch by Adams on the corner. Gets Carter for the second time. 2 away for Katie Gagnon, who was bounced to the pitcher and walked. In for a strike. Quickly 0-2. That one bounced in Levitt with a nice stop. She's had to work a little bit about behind home plate. Miss low again, 2-2. So we get deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 6th. Waves it for strike 3. 4th time she struck out 2 in an inning. Our first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. And all the people in attendance here are happy about that. Nine strikeouts for Adams. Winthrop is now down to the last 3 outs. Glasgow will bat in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. Tori Adams, Maddie Dana, Sierra Collins, the scheduled hitters. And they'll face Sophia Vitale, who will start her 2nd inning of work, coming in relief for Stephanie Strange. And did a good job. She gave up a hit, but she struck out 2. Husker got 2 in the 1st, 2 more in the 3rd. They batted around in the 4th and got 4. And that's where we are, 8-0 Glasgow. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. You never know what you're going to see. We just had a bevy of young kids on bicycles. And it was more than a football team. It looked like 10 or 12 or more driving through behind home plate. The 2 guys earning their money today are the 2 umpires. And spring can't come soon enough. Actually, it would be nice if we skipped right over into summer and get some warm weather here. This isn't even football weather. Tori Adams has walked, tripled in a run and scored, singled in a run and scored. She's 2 for 2, been on base 3 times, scored 2, knocked in 2, and she's pitching a shutout. That's a pretty good day's work. She beat them both times. They figured she was going to either bunt or slap, so they brought everybody in. Second baseman very close, outfield is close, and she lined a shot into right center field for a triple. Then they said, okay, we'll just play back normally. And she bunted for a base hit, knocking in a run. So she's caught them both times with their defensive changes. First walk given up by Vitale in her 2nd inning of work. Well, Adams, perfect. She's on base 4 times. And it's strange, they don't run for her. Drilled to center field. Off the center fielder's glove, they make a collision. They're waving home. Adams will score. I'm going to give Dana a double. I'm not going to give anybody an error on that play. 2 fielders almost collided. Adams scores her 3rd run. Dana gets her second RBI. She's on base for the second time. She had a sacrifice fly. They'll come out to make sure the outfielders are okay. The center fielder kind of collided with the left fielder. But they check and she says she's fine. And again, we're guessing that this is Mackenzie Shea up at bat. She went in as a pinch hitter for Collins, got hit by a pitch, got an RBI, stayed in the game in left field. That one bounced into home plate. So the runner moves over to third with nobody out. I don't know if it's a 10-run rule. If it's a 10-run rule, if Dana scores, the game will be over. Hit into right field for a base hit. So the RBI hit, obviously it's not a 10-run rule. Second RBI for Shea. Amanda Wilkins has walked, sacrificed, and singled in a run. She's 1 for 1 with an RBI. She's been on base twice. And made a nice defensive play at first base and made a nice stretch at first base for a putout. So the pitcher and the catcher are the only ones who are not wearing a jacket now. When's the last time you saw that for a softball game? And the pitcher's probably wishing she was wearing a jacket. That one goes to the backstop. So walk, a double, and a single. We've put 2 on the board. Runner at second with the wild pitch. Line to the left field for a base hit. Into second with a double is Wilkins. Glasgow's got extra base hits all over the place. Four hitters in the inning, 3 of them have scored. The other one is at second base. Becca Walker, the hitter. She has flied to center, flied to left, struck out, and bounced into a fielder's choice. A force at the plate. Down and in for a ball. Hit off the third baseman's glove. She'll reach on the error. Tough play for Mahoney. She's not a third baseman. Obviously, she's a pretty good center fielder. She covers a lot of ground. Does a nice job out in the outfield, but they put her at third base when they made a pitching change. So not easy for her. I know it might be the first time she's over there. Calder pops it up. It's going to drop in for a base hit. The runner will hold, so it'll be the bases loaded. They couldn't go anywhere until they made sure the ball wasn't caught. Calder's got her third hit. Calder's got her second hit. She's on base for the 4th time. 2 walks, 2 hits. She scored 2 runs. Classical has the bases loaded, leading 11-0, with a chance to end it here in the 6th inning. Another confab on the mound. Kayla Morrill is perfect. 2 walks, a single, a double, and she scored 2 runs and knocked in a run. They got the infield very shallow. The outfield very shallow. It skips safe at the plate. The wild pitch scores the run, and that will do it. So the mercy rule is 12. And Classical has 12, and that's going to end the ball game. They're going to go to 2-0. Winthrop's going to drop to 0-2. Adams will get the shutout. She gave up 4 hits. She did walk 5, 3 in 1 inning, but got out of damage. She struck out 2 in 4 different innings. She wound up with 9 strikeouts. And considering the conditions, she did a sensational job pitching the shutout. Classical got 2 in the first, an RBI double by Morrill, an RBI single by Levitt. 2 more in the third after a double by Edmonds, an RBI triple by Adams, a sacrifice fly by Dana, made it 4-0. They got 4 in the fourth after a couple of walks. Levitt with an RBI double, Adams with an RBI single. A hit batsman brought in a run. And then a base hit by Wilkins brought in another run. It was 8-0. And now here in the 6th, a walk to Adams, a double by Dana, a base hit by Collins. Mackenzie Shea. And then a double by Wilkins. Walker reaches on an error. Calder gets a base hit. And the wild pitch brings in the 12th run of the game. And Classical walks off with a mercy rule 12-0 win. For Classical, Walker did a nice job at shortstop. She had that. She reached on the error. Here in the 6th inning, Jonah Calder had a big game. 2 walks, 2 hits, scored 2. Kayla Morrill had a double, a single, 2 walks, scored 2, knocked in a run. Levitt had a single, a double, knocked in 2 and scored a run. Edmonds had a double and scored a run. Troy Adams had a big day, pitched the shutout. On base 4 times, 2 walks, a triple, a single, scored 3, knocked in 2. Maddie Dana was on base twice. She had a double, reached on an error, had a sacrifice fly. She knocked in 2, scored a run. And we're guessing, we hope we were right, Mackenzie Shea got hit by a pitch for an RBI, singled in a run, and scored a run. So she was 1 for 1 with a couple of RBI and a run scored. And Wilkins was perfect. A walk, a sacrifice, an RBI single, an RBI double, scoring a run. Everybody getting involved in the offense. Adams pitching the shutout with 9 strikeouts. And Classical goes to 2-0 as they win it in a 6-inning mercy rule ending 12-0 over Winthrop to go 2-0 on the season. Winthrop will drop to 0-2. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.